Check. Hello and good afternoon again. If you weren't here for the beginning of the concert, my name is Andrew Anderson. I'm the director of athletic bands here at the University of Tulsa. Just one more reminder to please silence any portable electronic devices you may have on you. Thank you very much. Our final group today is going to be directed by Mr. Jeremy Parker. I've gotten to know Mr. Parker over the last 3 years that I've been here at TU, and he's become a very good friend in addition to being a wonderful colleague, a wonderful musician. I've had a chance to collaborate with him on a piece for the trombone ensemble and hopefully more things in the future. And it's been a pleasurable experience having him here and working with him over the past few years. So please welcome Mr. Jeremy Parker and the Bixby High School Wind Ensemble.
Shostakovich called Shostakovich. We're going to do another piece by Russian composer Shostakovich. This is Waltz number 2. It's taken from the Jazz Suite number 2. However, don't be fooled. It actually doesn't sound like jazz at all. It sounds very much like in the tradition of Shostakovich and like it. We're going to feature 2 dancers that are so generous to come show and exhibit their talents. This is Ryan and Summerdu Ball. So welcome them when they enter the stage. This is Shostakovich, Jazz Waltz number 2. 2011 by a young composer out of Kansas, Robert Ford. This composer came to my attention when I'm searching out for some new music to play with the wind ensemble and some honor bands and different things like that. This piece, the only rendition of it that I was able to hear was a MIDI file that the composer had produced. So I called in and asked for a score, and he actually did this piece this summer with here at University of Tulsa, did a world premiere piece with the TU Summer Festival Band. We didn't get a great recording of that, and I told the composer, I said, you know what, I think we can do more justice to that if I have a little more time with the wind ensemble to work on that and get a great recording for his website and expose the students to new composition. So this is City Daylight, composed by Robert Poole. This next piece that we're going to do is one of the, I guess, highly thought of pieces in the orchestra by Aaron Copland. We all know Aaron Copland as an American treasure composer. He's composed film scores, symphonies, small ensemble things, just a wonderful American composer. This piece was written originally for the incidental music for a play by Irving Shaw of the same title, Quiet City. The play actually never made it to the screen, never made it past the readings, and we thought that Mr. Copland's music would be lost. He actually liked some of the melodies in it so much that he wrote a piece, Quiet City, for orchestra. Later, that was transcribed in full wind ensemble, featuring trumpet, and we're also going to feature soprano saxophone. So please welcome to the stage Mr. Ben Hay on trumpet, and Mr. Brent Baldwin on soprano saxophone. So now you can see why Copeland's a national treasure, yes? We have one more piece I'm going to play today, and it's a humdinger, okay? So while they're getting set up, they have to be set right here. I just want to talk to you briefly about kind of some of the things going on in the band program. First of all, a huge monumental bond issue passed a few weeks ago for $147 million. Several $1 million of that are allocated to the band department to build a brand new fine arts center, the band fine arts for the band department. We just met with the architects last Thursday. I'll be keeping you up to date on how things go as far as that goes. But I do know this: there was a 78% increase in the amount of people voting on this bond issue compared to the last bond issue, and I attribute that a lot to you people sitting out here. Thank you for supporting these kids up here. It's amazing stuff. So you're so smart. Well, this next piece was originally written for orchestra as well, and later transcribed for Ensemble. Some of you maybe have heard it before. It's a very familiar sounding piece, and you've probably just heard little snippets of it here and there. It's going to feature several people. There is, I will warn you this, we are getting a professional recording of all the concerts I do. There's a spot about 3/4 way in, and it seems like it's done. It's not, so don't clap, don't be that guy. It's not done, and we still have another 25% up to go there. It's a wonderful piece. It's 10.5 minutes long, but it seems like 2 because it's so interesting and cool. So this is Dan's song. I hope you enjoy it. give to these kids every day, every part of the year, marching band, concert band. This is a cool house, and it's amazing to see that for concerts at Bixby. Thank you so much. That concludes our program. Take these guys to a steak dinner, yeah? All right, thank you so much.